another episode of White Lithium Euro Trash. This is going to be an episode which I think takes place over several weeks, probably 2 weeks. So, you saw I got the transmission kind of shifting okay. I'm reasonably okay with that, but now it's time to get real. The parking brake doesn't work. The front suspension is in a terrible shape. The power steering rack, the steering rack leaks like crazy. So basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to go through the entire front end, all right? We're going to pull the wheels off. We're going to look at the brake calipers, figure out what's up with the parking brake. I've got a replacement set of calipers. We're going to pull off the A-arms, sandblast them, paint them, install new ball joints, see what rebuilding I can do on this other steering rack that I have, install a new power steering pump, new power steering lines, new brake lines, brake calipers, brake rotors, and sort of like suspension bushings, and sort of take it from there. So it's gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a big journey. Okay, so one thing we know for sure is that we're gonna be doing something with the steering rack. So before I even jack up the car, I'm gonna start I've had this steering rack that I bought from Rose in Ithaca, Saab Parts Pro, which she said was good over a year ago, that it's been waiting, and I'm gonna disassemble a little bit, and we're gonna try and clean it up as best we can and make an assessment of where we are. I'm 99% sure that the rack that's on the car currently is leaking from right here. So I don't want to put a part on the car which is worse than the one that's already there. So I need to kind of do a thoughtful assessment of what I've got. This rack came off of an 86. You can buy these from that place in Indianapolis. So, positives. I just took these boots off. There isn't oil pouring off of here, so, that's good. All right, let's get it all cleaned up with some degreaser. Get these tie rod ends off and see what we've got. It'd be nice to have a professional parts washing system, but of course don't have that here. So we're gonna do it the best way we can, in a very labor-intensive way. These are really precious. All right, so we're getting the steering rack into a more presentable shape, and honestly, even though it's completely coated in oil, I don't think it's leaking. This seal right here, which I think is the most common one, I'm just gonna take the rebuild kit I have. I'm pretty sure it'll have this seal right here on the input shaft. Replace that, boy, wouldn't it really nice to have a real pressure washer about now, or a real parts washer, or some actual plugs. I feel really bad about sticking paper in the steering rack, but all right, let's keep letting that soak, and let's get this car jacked up a little bit. This car may be on jacks for a while. Of course, everybody who's seen one of my videos knows that I don't like twisting a car. I like to keep it even in the jacket. Alright, so now we're, you know, pretty decently on jacks. I've got it on the jacking points. I don't love the jacking points on this car. I feel like it's not the strongest place. I'd rather be on the subframe, but I for now I'm okay because I want to keep access under the steering rack as open as possible. So without further ado, let's get these wheels off. What are they, 17s or 19s? I can't remember. They're 19s. Right? Yeah, they're 19s. This new Milwaukee Impact 3A too. Boom. No problem. And you'll see when I reveal what is behind here. Okay, so look at the state of rust under here. Not good. You can obviously it's not hard to tell why the parking brake doesn't work. It's because the thing is all the way screwed in here on the caliper. So I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna start completely disassembling it. All of this, these springs are gonna get replaced. Everything else is gonna get sandblasted. I've got new ball joints. Do I have the socket to get that piece off right there? Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't take the upright out. Maybe I will. Let's see. No, I've got it at the other house, but maybe. Yay! All right. How about that? Okay.
So look at where you're, like, come behind me. And so if you're gonna be working here,
Yeah.
and let's say I'm you, so adjust yourself. I'm bigger, but you're also taller, and you're working. You can see everything that's happening.
Yeah.
If you stay kind of to this side, right?
And then we just speed it up.
And then whatever you do in that thing, I will speed through it.
Okay.
Unless there's something that's important, then you slow it down. You'll be like, okay, this is something that a lot of people might not know when they're working on this.
I know. We can just keep.
You know.
We're just rolling. You're rolling right now, though. I have to delete a bunch of stuff off my memory. When you look at the wear on this tire, this really nice Michelin Defender T&H, which is a great tire for this car, but look at the wear on this side of the tire versus here, which basically means like this thing's been running, like the wheels have been towed in so much, the alignment's been way off. It'd be nice to get this all cleaned up in here too. I'm gonna obviously get new tires for this thing, but that'll be after I do this next phase in the life of this car, which now that I'm in here, it's like, God, do I just rebuild the drive shafts while I'm in here? Because I'm gonna have it all apart, which just means it's gonna be more time. I mean, this is turning into a restoration, right? Everything in here is getting sorted. So yeah. You know, the thing about these cars, the previous people who owned these cars before David, the guy who I bought it from, who was kind of a collector, but before that, the previous 32 years of the car's life, 35 years of the car's life, this car was transportation, right? This car was originally sold by Meyer Garage in northeastern Iowa. It spent its life in southwestern Wisconsin, which is why I have such an emotional attachment to the car, because I have a lot of deep connections to the region too. You know, this was transportation. People used this as a car, and they weren't extending the longevity of the suspension components in a northern climate. Wasn't first and foremost in the mind, but some of this, I look at these brakes, you know, so the parking brake lever is fully, this arm should be further out right now. So I'm just like baffled by what's actually happening here. I'm gonna have to, like, you just drive a car with no parking brake. Like, how do you drive a manual transmission car with no parking brake? cut. It's time to cut and cut. I don't have the correct ball joint and tie rod end extractor tool here. It's at my other house, so none of this is getting reused, so we're just gonna cut this right off, okay? Whoa, you gotta get some air in here. I don't like those fumes. Get this door open right here too. Hang on. Nice brake on that thing. Come on, damn it. Come on! There we go. See, the heat of the grinding actually acts like a torch because I don't have a torch with me. So even if you don't cut it, you get enough heat into it. That's a little life hack there. All right, cut. So this car actually came with some of the fancy boy stuff. This is the official Saab tool that you use to stick under the upper A-arm when you're servicing the ball joints. Or you can stick, you can stick wood in there, you can stick wrenches, you can stick anything, but it's nice that the car came with these. Let's see. Go right in here. Oh, gotta go up a little bit more. Let's do that. Oh, we're coming off the other side. All right, here we go. Coming down. And what those do is it takes the strain off the ball joint so you can get the ball joint out. We'll go do that on the other side too. All right, we're making such great headway that I've decided we're just gonna pull the steering rack out of this car. Normally I would drain the power steering fluid, but there is none. So let's go ahead and just disconnect the hoses here at the place green. In there with a long bit, even longer. That's a PB Swiss to Vessel, this beautiful Vessel lock-in extension. Now don't go thinking your North American bits will fit in there. These are Japanese bits. They're not compatible. Wait, I didn't need it that long, or did I? Take the return hose off here first. Come on. Oh, what's on there? Like I've said in previous videos, most of my tools in Milwaukee are Japanese tools, whereas my other home in the great state of Illinois, not so much, but they happen to be all German tools. The way I like it. I like my tools from only Axis Powers. Whoa, that's gnarly. Whoa, that's gnarly. And dual stock power steering from Sweden. Hose off of here, or try to get the other hose off. This deal is on here tight. My lord, is it on there tight? This is the whole thing that you just do in life, that to succeed is you just go. You get yourself in so deep that you don't know how to get out. All right, so now we're gonna go under the car. Those are 19 millimeters.
And what are you doing again?
I'm taking out the power steering rack. We're taking out the whole steering rack. It's coming out right about now-ish. Except there's a little trick to it. So this now, okay. Let's get our hoses out of the way. We just did up there. Come on, baby. Get out of the way. Oh shit. God, I have to actually disconnect the steering. So I'm cleaning the grime off of the steering universal joint with this air blower, and kind of getting a mind of how we're going to go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to bring out the tight reach again. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, so just like on the shifter coupler the other day, the tight reach is the best friend of the Saab owner when you're working in proximity to the firewall. All right, are we? Is it spinning on the other side there? I can't tell. I'm not spinning on the other side when I do this.
All right, go for it.
No, it's loose.
It's not spinning.
Yeah, it's loose.
You can kind of see it through here. Yeah.
Is it turning?
The nut isn't turning.
Am I too big on the nut?
If I'm looking at it correctly, the nut isn't turning.
Let me try 12.
Trying a 12. But I could see it from there.
I know, and I knew that the problem was somebody had put a bunch of like cable ties and stuff around the hoses and the parking brake cable, okay? But I couldn't tell from my limited vantage point here that this one hose clamp was holding on the parking brake cable to the steering rack. So, and she kept saying, oh, you have to take off the parking brake cable. Okay, sure, yeah, but no, it was actually attached, but I couldn't tell it was attached. So anyways, we finally liberated the steering rack from the car. And luckily, this thing has been leaking steering fluid for so long. Like the white car, it's actually been saved from rust by the leak. It's a leak blessing, but I am ready to not be under this car for a minute. And this is a messy job. Okay. There we go. So I believe the primary leak, this boot has been broken forever. This boot is not broken. I believe that the leak is coming out primarily right here, okay? This is a good core, but yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That's why nobody does this. In fact, you see all these guys online that are like, oh, don't just run it without the power steering. Oh, what? I love a classic Saab with a leaking steering rack because it just protects this entire area from rust. I mean, look at that. It's in great shape. It's been leaking for 15 years probably. What is even in there? We have fabric and there's a rag. There's a 15-year-old rag in there. That's how long it's been leaking. Oh my god. I've never seen a more rust-free area in here. Amazing.